Where would I go for counseling? Well, Claudia and her family would be a part of the church. She would be part of our staff. Okay? Here's another one that's coming. We already have, she will develop Stephen Ministry. Stephen Ministry is lay people giving care. And Miss Nivea is familiar with this ministry. What it is that, let's say that Charles goes through the Stephen Ministry training, and that and I'm going through a situation where I lose my job, and Charles just comes alongside me, kind of like a big brother, big sister, and we might be friends for 6 months to a year, just long term, where we just might have coffee, maybe we'll go fishing, whatever it is, and he just kind of comes alongside me. He's not a counselor, he's not a therapist, he's just a buddy. That's kind of what Stephen Ministry is. Sometimes those relationships last for years in the case of somebody losing a spouse and somebody come alongside them, and it's a very effective ministry. And Claudia is going to help us create that and establish that here. Concerning ministries that happen inside the walls here all the time, we have a variety of student ministries. We have children's ministry, which for us is anywhere from infant to 5th grade. We're going to continue to make our children's ministry better. Once your kid gets out of 5th grade, they come into the youth group, which is middle school and high school. But we're also going to invest a lot of time and effort in trying to reach our college community. We're right here 10, 15 minutes from one of the largest universities in the United States. And we can do better at having a presence on the campus at UCF. Would you agree? Okay. Another one that we're going to do is, let me see what's next. Okay. This is you having the opportunity to participate. We talked about this Wednesday night, about areas that we need you to participate with your giftedness. Some of you are passionate about fixing things. Some of you are passionate about helping people. One of the things that I have in mind is a ministry. I think it's the next one. Yeah, I'm calling it Helping Hands. Hey, Pastor Tom, I need somebody to come fix this thing at my house, and I would, except I can't reach it, or I don't know how. And some of you guys, that's your thing. You love fixing and tinkering with things, and so we would hook you up and send you over there so that you might have an opportunity to participate. And the last one that we have is, I want to try to put together a missions trip. I don't know how to tell you this, but we don't have to go to Honduras, and we don't have to go to Haiti to find people that don't know Jesus. Okay, that we can go next door. Okay? But what I would tell you is that going out of the country makes you appreciate this country a lot more. And what we go to do to serve somebody else doesn't change their life nearly much as it changes ours. Okay? But we're going to look into doing some of those kinds of things, because for some of you that really is your passion, to go serve and to go help. And so that's kind of the plan. Okay? So that's the plan. That's where we're going. Because Pastor Sheridan and I are not the ministers. You're the ministers. We're the administrators. Our job is to equip the saints to do the work of ministry. That was last week. Remember that? Well, Pastor Tom, what's the urgency? Why are you so freaked out about this? What's going on? I don't know if you know, but the world is coming to an end. I'm not predicting that anytime soon. But I would tell you this. It matters because people matter. We don't have to sit around for very long and pray about what we ought to do to reach people. You've got to open your mouth. Back in the 60s and 70s, particularly the 70s and early 80s when I was a teenager, there were these two guys that got a lot of press. One was Ozzy Osbourne, and the other was Alice Cooper. And the church loved to hate these guys, okay? Because they were Satan. They were demonic. No, they weren't. They were just really smart business people. In the 90s, there was a guy who kind of rose to fame. His name is Brian Warner. Most people call him Marilyn Manson. But his name's Brian Warner, and he's from Ohio. And he's actually a church kid. And he got disillusioned with church, and he kind of freaked out, and he turned his back on church and didn't want anything to do with it. And he's not Satanist, and he's not even the Antichrist. There's a shock. What he is he's a smart businessman. And what Brian did was he identified the disenfranchised of society, the young people that were frustrated with their parents, that didn't like the establishment, they didn't want rules, they wanted to do whatever they wanted to do. And Brian became the Pied Piper of the disenfranchised, blowing his little horn, and millions of kids followed along, buying the CDs and the DVDs and the t-shirts and all the rest. And the church the whole time is going, it's Satan! No, he's a businessman. And he identified his market. And he made a lot of money. Okay? What's the urgency? Because you got a bunch of people following the wrong Pied Piper. That's the urgency. Several years ago, Sherry and I and I would say I still have, I think she does too, but we were trying to start a ministry to adoptable children in Florida. Our dream was to build a ranch full of a neighborhood of foster homes where all these kids were adoptable, and people would come onto the ranch, visit, and then adopt kids and go home. And I don't know if you know this, but there are 9,000 orphans just in the state of Florida. Okay? And so we were going through the process, and we had, you know, people that were going to raise money for us. We found a site, a place that we were going to do it, and we were all excited. And we lived in Polk County. Polk County is the largest county, and it's the poorest county in the state of Florida. Okay? We went down there, and I was having a conversation with the director of the Department of Children and Families of Polk County. And she was telling me about the system and how it works. And she pledged to me that if we could get it established, that the government would fund most of it. And I said, wait. I said, you need to know something. I'm a Christian person. I'm going to hire Christian foster care parents. We're going to teach these kids Christian values. And our desire is to see them come to Christ. She kind of leaned on her desk and she goes, listen, I don't care if you're a Buddhist. I don't care if you're a Muslim. I don't care if you're a Satanist. Whatever has worked for you, I want you to teach it to these kids. And I said, well, what about that little mythical thing about the separation of church and state? I mean, I'm the church, you're the state, and you're telling me you're going to give me state money to fund this ministry. And she leaned forward on her elbow. She goes, listen, these kids are up for grabs. And whoever gets here first wins them all. Amen. Our neighbors are up for grabs. And whoever gets there first wins them all. And if you'll go back a couple of months, I showed you some statistics that within 5 miles of this building, there are 252,000 people. 38% of which said they have no religious affiliation. That's almost 96,000 people within 5 miles of here that need what we have. Now, if you and I were going into business, and I said, listen, our market's right here. There are 96,000 potential customers. And as long as we have a quality product at a fair price and good advertising, we'd make money, wouldn't we? If we knew 40% of this area needed what we have, well, we got a quality product, salvation's pretty good. Got a really good price, it's free. We just need more advertising. You and I would be millionaires if we were selling this product to 40% of America. Whoever gets there first wins them all. You know what that means? We're going to need a new building. I expect to win this race. I expect to win. I'm not looking for second. I'm not looking for 12th. We got to run this race to win the people. The people are the prize. I'd like for you just to close your eyes just for a second. I want you to think of one person affiliated with your family. One person affiliated with your family that does not know Jesus. Just one. I'd like for you to think of one person that you work with or that you have worked with that you're pretty sure doesn't know Jesus. Think of one person who lives in your neighborhood that you're pretty sure doesn't know Jesus. And if there was one person that you could lead to Jesus, who would that be? God, it didn't take us very long to put faces and names together. People that need you, that need a place to plug in, a place to